I'm very quite impressed based off this new Digimon anime that I'm watching from the fall of 2025 season of this anime of Digimon Beat Break. And I have to say, this is a very interesting first episode. It's really actually interesting. And there's some questions I definitely do want to ask myself. I don't know if this anime is based on a video game or based on a manga. And to be honest with you, I never seen any Digimon manga really based out in stores or basically like in books or Barnes Books and Novel or stuff like that. There might be some on Amazon, which I definitely think they'll probably on the Crunchyroll, Funimation, probably whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember the name on right at the top of my head. So I would one person would definitely say this very first episode was very interesting. It was very good core of sponsors basis from what I see here. And based on when I'm watching this anime, it kind of reminds me going back to my childhood watching the original Digimon for for something I haven't seen in such a long time. It has that nostalgia feeling. That's what it basically feels to me. A lot of people would disagree with me with this and saying like this is not really a nostalgia basically kind of like base of that. But I feel like it really actually is. But if you listen to the base of the course, base of the songs and base of the sounds and stuff like basically of that, it does have that feel of that old vibe that we used to love basically back then that we really definitely do love. I see that kind of that old vibe that basically what we're seeing here and stuff like that. Now this anime is basically made on Toei Animation. Toei Animation is very big when it comes to showing anime, when it comes to Dragon Ball, One Piece. I think Bleach. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so and basically from other different animes also as well too. Toei Animation is a huge market when it comes to shonen anime, especially around Digimon, also especially around Digimon and also Dragon Ball as well too. Because to be honest with you, Dragon Ball is pretty much just one of the biggest market space out there for basically when it corresponds with Toei Animation. Because Toei Animation is pretty much it's basically kind of like I guess probably the co-founder when it comes to Dragon Ball, when it comes to Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT, Super, and Dynamo, et cetera, and stuff like that, and just see where that basically definitely goes. I'm not so sure if Toei Animation does own the rights to Naruto. I really don't think so. Maybe they probably own them. Maybe they do. I don't know. I need someone to excuse me, I need someone to clarify that for me, please. Now, what is this? Now, what's the same as space all about? I'm really am kind of wondering if this anime is based on a manga or just based on a video game. I'm not really big on really on Digimon really all that much. Excuse me. I'm not really based really all that much. But I'm willing to personally say it does have a very cute vibe, something I definitely like. It kind of reminds me a little bit of an action, a slice like puts them together, and I definitely do like that also as well too. And I definitely do like this anime, definitely do like this anime. Particularly, just to be honest with you, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me with this, but I don't like watching Digimon that just have just kids just only Digimon. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely think. I don't like that kind of aspect. I want to see more of a mature, basically of digitamers of having Digimons. I'm not a big fan of watching Digimons that has just basically just children just owning Digimon. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely think. I do like the older Digimons that I used to like from back then. I'm so used to those. But when it comes to comes to having to basically like having children basically in the Digimon, it just doesn't feel right to me. I want to see more of a more mature basically into the realm of a show I like to watch. Something I like, something I definitely want to dive into, something that I want to be more invested to. A lot of people will disagree with me basically with this, but a lot of people will probably say, James, you're cherry picking because that's basically what you're doing. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. So I mean, that's definitely. Now let's talk about the premise of space when it comes to space in this anime. The premise of space is coming to this anime. The only way they can really can operate and stuff like that, and basically what they have some kind of operate that they have. It's kind of like a phone or something like that that can really can talk to you. It's a generated AI. Generated AI. If I were to ask Gemini about anything like what's the weather and stuff like that, it will tell me like what's the space is that's what space is going to happen. Or basically, if I have a Amazon Alexis, I can ask Alexis what's the weather's going to be like, who's going to be playing, who won the race, what is on the news, and all that other stuff like that. It's kind of like similar basic to basic kind of Alexa basic kind of situation. But if I were to ask, go onto my phone, ask Gemini, I ask like what's going on in the world and stuff like that, and it will tell me. Or maybe there's some questions probably I have never heard of basically heard of it before. But you also have to keep one thing also in mind that these eggs are kind of like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It really actually is. The only way that you can only charge your egg or whatever that maybe is by a chip in your basically hand. Now a lot of people will probably I think a majority probably a lot of people will probably watch this, but probably Christian conservatives will probably say this will lead to the NWO, or I will say the New World Order, which I really don't care about that. That's just my opinion. It's just anime, that's all basically what definitely will say. But anyways, they have a chip based on their hand, and the only way that they can basically can charge up their egg is basically use that chip based on their hand. That chip based on their hand is basically they have all the information they have on their bank account, their who they really are and what they do and stuff like that, information, all that other stuff and stuff like that. And I think definitely do think it's very interesting, really actually is. But like I said, for a lot of people would probably will say this is just basically a new decade to basically profound into the future NWO, New World Order, or whatever it is, stuff like that. I think it's ridiculous and stuff like that. A lot of people will attack this series. Christians, conservatives probably would. That's what I definitely do thinking and stuff like that. I'm willing to put what definitely will say here and stuff like that. I definitely do think the anime. I definitely do think that the anime is kind of interesting. Definitely is interesting to watch. I definitely do believe that I don't think a lot of people may not watch this anime, but I definitely do believe when it comes to Christians, basically also Christian conservatives, basically out there, will attack the series for because showing the impulse of nation based on a chip basically into a hand could lead into basically a new world order. That's what basically they believe in. Particularly, to be honest, I said many times before, I did question the existence and stuff like that, based off God Himself and stuff like that. I definitely do question that. But that's just my opinion. That's what I definitely do think. A lot of people will get confused by what I'm saying here, but it definitely does have those kind of vibes and basically of that. I don't see there's nothing really wrong to have a chip in your hand. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Some people may be turned off basically by it. Some people would not do it. I probably would. I know it would probably be painful. I definitely do think it would be very interesting for something based to have and stuff like that. But it can lead to other different situations that it can really contract your information that the government that really wants you to know and stuff like that. It can really basically a new open window of a new Pandora's box that could be open basically for a new generation. There's not really basically a whole lot of basically to talk about space in this episode, but I definitely do find this anime definitely is very interesting. It really actually is. Now, there's one point I definitely do want to mention. A couple key points I definitely want to mention, and there's one question I'm kind of curious about, and I want to start with Tom. Tomoro is basically as for a character based on himself. He's pretty much is the main protagonist based on this anime, and he has a Digimon, which is basically which his name is Gekomon, he looks like a gecko kind of lizard. Like if you see the lizard out on the tree, he goes like this, he walks like that, and stuff like that. And his eyes kind of look a little crooked because he can see 3 angles and stuff like that, pretty much all around. So what I mean, basis of that, he kind of looks kind of like a lizard. That's what he basically kind of looks like. That's basically what he actually is. He seems like he's a very strong kind of individual of a Digimon. He really definitely is. That's something I definitely do like because I definitely do basically see that. Now, when it comes to other comparisons to other Digimons like Agumon or Greymon or other different ones, I don't know how that's going to compare. I really don't know. I really am kind of curious about what is the champion level of his evolutions going to be, because the evolutions are very different. But a lot of people, like I said, for a lot of Christian conservatives will attack this anime because they don't believe in evolution. I really don't care. So that's what it basically feels to me. Now, I've also want to key in also something that's very important, that if a person get attacked by a Digimon, they basically get this kind of a cold, which is basically a cold heart. A cold heart is basically that if you look basically closely, basically in the episode, if the Digimon bites you, they could spread the virus basically on you. What basis means is that it's kind of like their venom. They can froze you, and then definitely you just basically die. And not only because of that, they want your EPOS, which I definitely forgot to mention. EPOS is something that they definitely have based in their hand, is basically gives up the vibe the energy. Now, I definitely want to say when it comes to Tomoro basically as a character, he's very gifted, basically kind of person. But the question is, a lot of his brother he was basically as his brother Asuki. Asuki was saying like, am I an adult? Am I just still a kid? To be honest, we really don't even know who he really actually is or anything like that. But he could have a power that I think a lot of people would probably go question, like, is he overpowered basic kind of person, or basically that he's really is not. That is something I'm very curious about when it comes to base of that. And before I go on a tangent, basically I'll say this also too. I'm really kind of wondering about trying to think here. I'm really kind of curious about Asuki, basically too. I'm not 100% sure if he's really actually dead or not. I really don't know. I'm really kind of wondering if he's still alive. I'm thinking that he really actually is. I really don't believe that he really actually is. I think he really actually is still alive. I don't know. But I have a feeling that he may not be dead. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think that he's not really dead. Because you really don't see Digimon have any deaths, stuff like that. You basically human deaths. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's very rare for something like that basically to really happen. But I will, in person, want to say here, I definitely do think this episode was definitely very good. But I still have that question based on the mind. Based on the mind, is Asuki really actually dead, or maybe Asuki is probably still actually alive? But I really don't like the fact that giving up to the very first episode that can basically lead to death. Could there very, very good possibility Asuka could be back alive? We probably could know, but we don't know about the overall base of the family aspect based around Tomoro. Tomoro is really actually special? To be honest with you, I think he really actually is special. But the question is he basically overpowered, basically not a character when it comes to other different animes? So this could be another power level basic kind of anime, but I definitely do see a lot of debate when it comes based in this anime. The question is, where this anime is based on. If this is an original anime or based on a video game, or maybe it's not. I really don't know. Or it's based on a novel or a manga. I don't know. I need someone to clarify that for me, please. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for this anime review. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys agree with some of the things I said? What are you guys' thoughts, opinions on, like, Tomoro basically as a character? Is he an overpowered kind of character, or basically really is not? How is Gekomon going to evolve into basically champion, or other different evolutions and stuff like that, and what kind of different evolutions that we're going to see based on this anime. Do you believe this anime is really based on a nostalgia based kind of level, or are you basically really not? And what are you guys' opinions on which I believe in? Basically, I believe in. I definitely think that some Christian conservatives will attack this anime because the chips playing in a hand and also evolutions as well too. I'm just giving a pronounced base of that. That's my opinion. That's what I definitely do think. But yeah, and what's the summarize is I'll see you guys there. Take care. Hope you guys have one day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please like and give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. And please leave a comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.